Hello, this is Jeff from DocuData with a walkthrough of some scenarios using ShredSoft, also known as EDCRC. In our first example, we will take an order for an account that might or might not already exist. Then we will process it all the way through to performing the shredding, making adjustments, collecting payments on site, and issuing the shred certificate and the receipt. I will start by logging in to place the order. If you are familiar with EDC, you will notice that I have logged in as a shred-only employee, which means that some of the tabs from the full records management version of the software are hidden. To place the order, I will go to the Orders tab, the Orders module, and to add a new order, I'll simply click on Add. If we don't know whether or not the account already exists, I'll start by searching. And here we have the option, what we call the advanced customer search, which allows us to search a number of different fields using partial string matching. So I can search for a partial email address, a phone number, postal code, or some element of the customer name or username. So let's say I want to search for companies that have email addresses with DocuData in it. So I'll just search there, and I get a listing, and it shows various customers, and it also indicates where in the account the information is listed. So, and then if I see something that might be the one I'm looking for, I will click View, and then I can see more details. If I don't see the account I am looking for, I'll hit Cancel, and I can press the Insert key or click on the Add button. And this brings up the interface for adding a new account with required fields in pink and optional data fields in white. Okay, so let's place our order. Checking off the COD checkbox will require your driver to collect payment on site. And we can enter an invoice minimum, which will kick in if the amount that they actually the amount of work that you actually do does not meet the minimum amount that they've agreed to. You can add special instructions here directly to help your shred operator know what to do on the client site. The system confirms that we do in fact wish to add this new client. And the service types and a bunch of other parameters, including the default pricing, are copied over from your template account. For this example, I'm going to request some on-site purge shred servicing. And then here we have an order that's ready for us to add some details to. We can either start with the scheduling or by adding some items. I'm going to add some items. So some on-site purge shredding. And I guess we will say we're going there and we'll destroy some standard archive boxes. And let's say they've told us that they're going to have about 24. And these boxes will be with Elliot, so we will. And there we go. So there's our request. And then if I go to accept the order without placing it on the calendar, it's going to prompt me to do so. We can estimate how long it's going to take us to collect these items. And notice that the estimated weight is already filled in based on the average weight of the items that we collected. And you can set up whatever types of purge shred items you wish. And then I will select from the calendar, select which vehicles we want to display. And then we can drag our service to the correct time and date when it's available. And notice how down below, as we place the request on the calendar, we see that the capacity of the truck based on the weight of material anticipated for the request and the existing weight of items on the truck show up. So when we're satisfied, we hit OK. And our request has been placed. So someone who's placing orders would continue. They'd keep placing orders until you're ready to dispatch your vehicles. To do so, we'll go into the delivery route module and we'll select the calendar that we want to work with. So I'm going to select the on-site shred calendar. And again, select the vehicles. And here we have some options. We can, if we wish, add drive time. This will add time to get from one site to the next between your requests. If you do optimize route, this will rearrange the items, the service request for the date into the one which permits the most efficient driving path. And so here, if I just do add drive time, this here is connecting in with the MapQuest API using current maps, and this is very close to the building that I'm operating out of. So it's placed the request rate at 8 a.m. And then, so I'm happy with this. So I'm going to do create route. Select the employee who's going to be performing this work. And there we go. At this point, your shred operator will be able to process the route using RC Mobile. So they will start by accessing RC Mobile on their mobile device, on their smartphone. They will log in with their username and password. And if we were doing shred rotations, we would check truck validation before leaving. And this would show us if there's anything that we needed to collect before leaving. In our case, we can go straight to performing our service by clicking on delivery. And here we see our route for on-site shred truck number 1. And we see our services here. Usually there would be a list of them. In our case, we only have one stop. And notice how it's waiting, and there's a $sign indicating that the driver should be prepared to collect payment on site. At the site, we will notice that there's a notes section here, so I'll click on this to see what there's to see. And we have the note that was typed in under special instructions to ring the side bell at the side entrance and ask for Nikolai. And then we can go back, and then Here we see that the service that's been requested is one item of on-site shred, which hasn't been processed yet. So I'll click on this, and I see the request to destroy 24 standard boxes. And we can either confirm or adjust the quantity. So let's say we only had 22 of these, but while we were there, they also requested that we empty out a blue bin. So I'll click on add from the delivery menu here to add another item. And here we see services that have been defined as purge shred items for on-site service. And here I see I've got a blue bin, so I'll click on this here. And we will increase this by 1, hit confirm. It recalculates the price. And when we're done, we will go back to the previous screen and mark it as complete. Notice here we have 2 services that were performed, one that was requested, and we click on complete. Here we have the summary, and RC Mobile prompts us to request that the customer confirm the delivery. Total amount, we can select a payment type. If you have a credit card payment gateway, we can have RC Mobile swipe the card and pass the information through to the credit card processing gateway. In our case, we will just select cash. Have the customer use their finger or a stylus to sign for the service. And then you can click on confirm. It took a moment to process, and what it was actually doing here was it was sending out some emails, and I have a few previous ones here before, but what we see is that it sent out an invoice with a note that it's completed, as well as a certificate of destruction. It sent each of these to multiple addresses. It sent it to the customer and also to your administrator email, both for destruction and for invoicing in the case of the invoice, in case you ever need to verify or resend and give this information more easily, even though it is also in the database. So let's take a look at what we see here. For the destruction certificate, we have a PDF attachment, which I will open up. We see your logo in the upper left corner. This is obviously customizable. There's the list of services that we provided. There's some wording which you can customize. And here there's an image for a signature, which once again you would customize. Here we see the email that the customer received with the invoice. Notice that there's some text which you can customize. And we also have the attachment once again as a PDF document. And this is a report-based invoice. The lines will be pulled from your pricing as you've configured it, and we can add logos or images as you wish. And here we see that an indication that this invoice was in fact paid by cash.